Hi, my name is Tori, and today I'll be going over intuitive eating, which is an anti-diet diet created to restore eating habits and food relationships. So here are two important definitions that I wanted to mention. First is intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is a instinct, emotion, and thought. This is going to be based off of our hunger and fullness, what we like, don't like, and monitoring our emotions, thoughts, and cognitive distortions like diet myths and culture. Intuitive eating is based off of physiological hunger and fullness cues as well, rather than situational and emotional cues. It is similar to mindful eating, the all in diet, and health at any size diet style as well. Internal cues are basically cues that our body is going to be given us, including hunger, fullness, cravings, and satisfaction. Here are some stats on the diet. The concept was created about 25 years ago by Elise and Evelyn, two registered dietitians. As of 2020, it's experiencing a burst of popularity. The authors think it is because it's a backlash on the diet culture that's been going on for so long, and people are just tired of listening to other people and telling them what to do. So here I have a quote from a CNN article written in 2020 expressing that 95% of people who go on diets fail at them. And if they've lost weight, 2/3 of them gain even more weight back. So forget the word diet. Intuitive eating teaches you to listen to your body's cues about food once your mind is free of the do's and don'ts of eating. So, said in 2020, this is really going to be promoting the idea, and it's off of a very reliable source that people look forward to, being CNN News. Intuitive eating is going to be a dynamic process that helps you attune your mind, body, and food together. An eating style like intuitive eating relies on internal cues, making food choices without experiencing guilt, as well as honoring hunger, respecting fullness, and enjoying the pleasures of eating. This is going to be an end to the vicious dieting cycle of dieting, overeating, and dieting again once you gain the weight back. Here, there's going to be three components of intuitive eating that I want to include. These are the unconditional permission to eat, second being eating primarily for physical rather than emotional reasons, and lastly, relying on internal hunger, fullness, and satiety cues. Here we're going to have the two registered dietitians, Evelyn and Elise, pictured to the left, and these are going to be the two that made the diet popular. Originally published in 1995, Intuitive Eating, as the book, made a huge impact, and they were known as the original intuitive eating pros, and they have released a second edition since then in 2009. So how do you follow this diet? Intuitive eating is not just another diet, and it's not a point A to point B process. This is going to be experienced differently by everyone. It is a journey. Sometimes you might yo-yo between steps or principles, and that's okay. You're just going to move on and accept that it's a journey, and you'll get to the end eventually. The 10 principles that they give to you are kind of like steps and begin at changing your mentality and end with some exercise and nutrition talk. Here I have the 10 principles listed, and I'll be able to go over them as well in a little bit of detail, although the book does delve in with each being its own chapter. First, here we have rejecting the diet mentality. At this stage, you have to basically just admire that this is not going to be another diet, and you're not going to be starting another cycle, and then you have to put those ideas behind you and put the goal of weight loss behind you as well. Secondly, you need to honor your hunger. Eat when you're hungry and try not to ignore it in attempts to lose weight, as well as make peace with food. Here in this step, you have to admire that there are no forbidden foods. You can eat the foods that you want and the foods that you crave without worrying that it's going to ruin your diet. Fourth, challenging the food police. This is another mentality switch to where you're going to be able to fight back on the voices that are telling you that you're eating wrong or you're not eating how a diet would tell you to. Principle 5 is feel your fullness. So here, it's basically a list of mental checkpoints to know if you're full, when you're getting full, and how to stop eating and know that it's your final bite. 6 is going to be discovering the satisfaction factor. Here you're able to discover what you truly like to eat, including different textures, tastes, temperatures, and other things like that as well. 7, coping with your emotions without using food. This is really important because it's going to be another mental barrier to get over. Rather than eating emotionally, you're going to learn how to use a different coping mechanism. And 8 is going to be respect your body. Here you learn that you don't have to love every single part of your body, but it is important to respect it. 9, exercise and feel the difference. Here, we're going to be focusing on exercising to make your body feel good rather than to just burn calories and lose weight. 10 is going to be honoring your health with gentle nutrition. This is listed last because it's not another diet and you don't need to be counting calories or macros or worried that food is too high in fat or too high in carbs. You're going to be able to know that your body will get the nutrition it needs over time and maybe looking at it over a week span rather than a day span. Next, we're going to be going over the pros. So some pros of intuitive eating include restoring your internal hunger and satiety cues, creating a healthy relationship with food, and being able to regain trust of your body. Here I have some specific examples from research articles, I'm sorry. Here it is stated in 2015 that it statistically significantly increased the BES appearance subscale. This has to do with how we view our body, esteem, and how we're able to look at ourselves and feel how we feel about our body. Here we have in 2015 as well that people are less likely to be motivated to engage in physical activity because of external factors, meaning that those who are following intuitive eating styles were working out to feel good, not to lose weight or burn calories. Here it states that engaging in self-weighing calorie counting was adversely associated with eating disorders. This was a study done in 2018. This is going to show that ideas that are not suggested with intuitive eating are going to be adversely associated with eating disorders, implicating that those with eating disorders can benefit from intuitive eating as well. Overweight or obese participants achieve significant decreases in weight or maintain their weight. And in 2013, a study claimed that young adults who reported that they trust their bodies to tell them how much to eat had significantly lower odds for all disordered eating behaviors compared to those who reported that they didn't trust their body. Over here, I have a list of who should try the diet. This includes chronic dieters, people who are stuck in the cycle, those with eating disorders, as well as children, teens, young adults, and adults. This pretty much encompasses everyone and can be taught to children as well, which I think is a really important point. Here we have a list of cons or harms. After a lot of research in scholarly articles, I didn't really find any negative effects of intuitive eating. Some of the research just isn't there yet because it is a newer idea, but I did look into some non-scholarly articles and found some cons here. The first one being that it is a learned skill and that you need to understand food, calories, and portion sizes. I think this article lacked a little bit of an understanding of the intuitive eating structure because calories and portion sizes and basic nutrition are things that you're trying not to focus on in intuitive eating, but rather, again, your internal cues. Another cue listed was less structure and guidelines, easy to overeat, some weight gain at first, difficult to shift your mindset without the right support, needing a balance to be able to provide the right nutrition, and experimenting to find that balance. Some of these cons could be solved by, I think, just sticking through with the intuitive eating diet, though it is a difficult journey. I think it's going to be well worth it. And I believe that some of the principles do answer these cons. And here I have a small list of people who shouldn't try it. This includes people whose main goal is to lose weight and people who aren't ready to let go of diets. Basically, if you're stuck within this mentality, I think intuitive eating won't be as beneficial because you won't be able to 100% commit to it. Next, I have literature that is in support of intuitive eating. There were a lot of studies that I found showed that intuitive eating is beneficial, but these two I found were especially interesting. This first one here is a study of 78 obese females that was a 6-month randomized clinical trial with a 2-year follow-up. This was done by the Journal of American Dietetic Association, and the subjects were assigned to health at every size approach. These subjects had more positive outcomes than the subjects assigned to the group placed in a structured diet. So these outcomes include weight loss maintenance, decrease in total cholesterol, activity and eating behavior measures, and psychological measures were all improved. The second study was held in Brazil on adults over the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes. The 179 adults that participated in the study were assessed using the intuitive eating scale, which is going to be a questionnaire that's going to ask questions on your eating attitude. The people who were more inclined to eat intuitively were associated with lower chances of type 2 diabetics having inadequate glycemic control. So here's a quote from the study. The most intuitive eating was associated with lower chances of patients presenting inadequate glycemic control by 89%. This basically means that those who scored higher in the intuitive eating scale also scored lower in the chance of inadequate glycemic control. This was important because I thought that maybe diabetics wouldn't be able to benefit from this type of eating because you do have to be a lot more careful with what you eat. But to find that it actually benefits them was really interesting to me. Here, I have some literature that contradicts with intuitive eating. The first one is going to be a blog, and the second is an article. So again, these aren't scientific articles, but they do offer a different perspective. First, in 2018, Stephen Kemp said, you need to spend time counting calories until you've got it being intuitive eating down. He also claimed to make intuitive eating work, you need two key pieces of data: at least 3 weigh-ins a week, and the amount of calories consumed on average per week. I don't believe this article is fully embracing the intuitive eating principles. He also claims that your intuition is what made you fat in the first place. I believe he is kind of catering more towards a pseudo diet rather than actual intuitive eating lifestyle, and that may be where some of the cons in literature that contradicts comes in. Second, the article by Joy Manning claims that her intuition doesn't work that well, but I continue to have trouble identifying hunger and fullness, especially hunger. She also claims she was too afraid of getting metabolic syndrome or diabetes, and while I wait to find out where I land after my intuition hones itself somehow. I believe, similar to the last article, they didn't fully embrace intuitive eating principles, which led to these negative ideas associated with intuitive eating. And I believe that if you're able to let your body or go through the process, you'll have a lot different points of view rather than thinking that your intuition doesn't work, when over time, I think your body will adjust, is what research has shown so far. Overall, my take-home message is that in this dieting world, yes, it's very hard to think I'm going to be able to eat whatever I want, but this is the only diet that's going to be able to help you long term. So if you're not looking for a crash diet that's going to just temporarily lower the scale, but rather a diet that's going to help improve your overall lifestyle, nutrition status, and just how you feel about yourself, this is going to be the diet that'll help you to end the cycle that you might be stuck in. It might be a difficult process, but it's a process that'll for sure be able to show you the results that you want to see and feel good, which is going to be the overall message. You got to be able to live your life without waiting for the next diet. So thank you very much for listening. I really enjoyed learning about intuitive eating, and this is going to be all my sources listed below. Thank you, and I will see you soon.